Hello, and welcome to Tuesdays with Tuesday. I'm Tuesday, and I write fantasy fiction under the name Mary E. Twomey. And today I thought I would read you a chapter from one of my books. I like being read to, and I thought maybe you'd be a little bit like me and might like to be read to as well. So, the book that I'm reading to you, one chapter a week, unless you just want to watch all the videos at once. One chapter a week is called Savage Hearts, and this is book 1 of 5 in the Savage Hearts series. If you get a little impatient and don't want to wait for the next chapter, you can download the ebook for free on most major retailers. You can also get the paperback, or you can just wait for every Tuesday and I'll read you the next chapter. All right, before I start, get cozy, get comfy, get a beverage. I have water today. I know, I'm so wild. But in my defense, I put mint in my water, and I don't know, it just like tastes that much better. Or maybe it tastes the same, honestly, I can't really tell, but like that little bit of effort that I put in for myself feels like, ooh, this must be fancy water somehow. All right, we are in chapter 6. And if you've been listening to all the chapters so far, you know that Santos is mute. So in the books, when he talks, it's in italics, so you know that he is signing instead of speaking aloud. So what I'm going to do is wiggle my fingers like this, because then you will know that he is signing what he's saying. All right, get ready. Going Too Far, Chapter 6, Cruise. I have never shopped for women's clothing before. I rarely buy new clothes for myself. If something tears, Santos sews it. Most of my shirts have seen a fair amount of bloodshed, which is why the guys and I wear black. But this woman in her pink silky blouse stands out like a flashing warning light. Maybe if she puts on this black shirt like the rest of us, my eyes will stop zinging to her. I need to know why the Calcoo thinks she's useful. She doesn't seem like she secretly belongs to any of the tribes who know about the real way the world works. Still, I've been fooled before, so I try to keep a tight tether on everything surrounding her, just in case I'm wrong. Man, I hate being wrong. But my gut tells me she's completely in the dark as to what all this mess might mean for her. She certainly didn't look fearsome, or like she'd been expecting the Calcoo to attack. She hadn't been armed, nor had she called anyone to come to her aid. Come to think of it, she hasn't asked us to call anyone to even let them know she was missing. I can't decide if that's suspicious or sad. I'm too tired to puzzle her out right now, though I'm always too tired for just about anything. Raphael moved my driver's license to the back slot in my wallet. He knows I hate when he messes with my stuff, but he does it anyway just to entertain himself. Annoying. I keep my head down while I walk, though the Calcoo can spot me easily enough. I'm too tall to be stealthy and too recognizable by anyone from all 3 of the tribes to pass through anywhere incognito. Luckily, we're out in the normal world, where most of our tribe doesn't care to venture. I circle the area 3 times to make sure I'm not being followed before I trot toward the motel room. Standing outside Adelita's door, I feel suddenly guilty about waking her if she's asleep. I run my hand through my hair, as if I'm getting ready for some big ceremony or presentation I have to give in front of the village. Pulling my hand away, I stare at it in confusion. What should it matter if my hair is in place? This whole traveling with a woman thing is playing tricks on my mind. The other rescues were easy enough to ignore because Rafi proved a nice distraction for them. I knock 4 times in a pattern the 3 of us know. Rat, rat-a-tat. I'm expecting Santos to greet me with lidded eyes. We've been on the road for weeks and don't always take the time to stretch out in motel beds. When the door flings open and Santos meets my gaze with wild eyes, fresh fear on his face, and half his hair pulled back in a pink clip, my stomach sinks. Why didn't you text me? Is something wrong with her? You told me the stab wound would heal fine. I push past him, anticipating the worst. Adelita, dead on the mattress. Adelita's big blue eyes open in a silent plea for me to stop being stubborn and take her to the emergency room. But she's not dead. She's tucked herself into the far corner of the quaint room, looking just as scared as Santos. What is it? What happened? I draw my knife on instinct. Santos is spooked by something, that's for sure. She knows him, he signs. Adelita knows Santiago. Santos's sign for Adelita is an A mixed with a sign for beautiful. I don't know why this catches me off guard. His sign for me is a C next to an exaggerated scowl. His sign for Raphael is an R near his crotch because, well, it's Rafi. There's no opinion in those, only fact. Rafi thinks with his dick, and I look like, well, whatever the opposite of the Easter Bunny looks like. But Santos thinks Adelita is beautiful. I can't disagree, but I also can't think of a scenario in which Santos getting hung up on a woman the Kalku are after might be considered a good thing. She is pretty. Heart-shaped face with a sun-kissed umber to her skin. Pink lips that are the right amount of full. Blue eyes that make me forget everything else in the world. My brain snaps into focus. I must be tired if the main point of Santos's message blew past me. That's my dog. I have a toy Pomeranian, and she likes to bark at everybody and everything to prove to the world that she's very scary. So everyone pause and tell Cricket that she's very scary. Otherwise, she'll keep on barking, and that's annoying. Well, it's not really annoying most of the time, but when we're reading, it's a little annoying. My brain snaps into focus. I must be tired if the main point of Santos's message blew past me. My head whips to Adelita. She looks like a scared child who just broke her grandmother's teacup by mistake. How do you know Santiago? The Kalku kept him locked up tight before they killed him. He was in captivity from the time he was a baby. Her eyes are huge with worry. Tell me, Adelita. She jumps at the bark in my voice. Normally, I enjoy the way my military-bred commands invoke fear, but I don't like the look of her distress. It turns my stomach, especially since I'm the cause of it. My sister always tells me I have no idea how to speak to women, but I brush that off until Ava's words come shouting back at me in Adelita's distrusting eyes. Rafi strolls in and shuts the door behind him. His shoulders are rolled back as if my frustration is amusing. What seems to be the problem, kids? I heard yelling through the wall. That means we're dealing with either really thin walls or someone put his cranky pants on tonight. He shoots me an exaggerated frown. I set the bag of clothes down on the bed and fix Adelita with a cold stare. You will confess how you know Santiago, or I'll have no choice but to assume you're in league with the Kalku. She remains mute, though now I can see it's mainly from stubbornness. I didn't say please, or keep my tone at the cheery level of an elementary school teacher, so she's digging her heels in when I need her honest and open. Rafi sizes up the tenor of the room with a lackadaisical shrug. Tell me, oh fearless leader, how Adelita might be in league with the Kalku? They were trying to kill her. They let her escape, I counter. With a knife wound? A knife wound that left her alive. Rafi gives me a steady stare that lets me know I'm being stupid. That's a fairly convincing bit of acting they pulled off. Were they faking their own deaths at our hands, too? What would her motive be for letting us take her with us if she was really part of the Kalku? And since when have you known them to let women into their fold? They use them, sure, but they don't give them instrumental roles like enemy infiltration. I throw my hands up. How else do you explain her knowing Santiago? Rafi's tone is irritatingly calm and patronizing. Well, I don't know. Perhaps we should yell at her and hope that gets us closer to some answers. Santos sits on the edge of the bed, pinching the bridge of his nose while we all try to puzzle this out. I fix my eyes on Adelita, who visibly recoils. shoving herself further into the corner as if she's hoping the shadows might swallow her whole. I will get the information from you, I warn her, silently begging her to tell me the truth. It's up to you how long that takes. Rafi tenses, but perhaps he trusts that I won't use force to extract the information I need like I usually resort to. He doesn't move to stop me, but watches my conscience give a rousing fight against the mission that remains at the forefront of my mind. I must take down the Kalku at all costs. Nothing else matters. I hate this. My stomach churns as I step toward Adelita. How do you know Santiago? She's as mute as Santos, who's still stuck mid-consternation from his perch on the bed. Tell me now, or I will hurt you. I'm warning her because I don't want to. I want her to stop me. Santos's head whips up while Rafi's eyes track my every move. I don't stop until I've got her trapped in the corner, hemmed in by my intimidating form. It was her choice to escape this spot, but it'll be my choice to escape to this spot, but it'll be my choice if she is permitted to leave it. My bulk fills her vision, her sharp inhale bracing herself against my very presence. When she opens her mouth, I'm relieved that I won't have to lay a hand on her, until the words spit out at me so quiet I nearly lose my resolve. Is this the man you want to be? Her words dig into me, unearthing anger, shame, and, worst of all, concern. Am I the man I set out to be? Is this how I saw my life going? Cornering a woman because she's too scared to answer my questions? I purse my lips and steel myself against Adelita's eyes that seem to see right through me. I am the man I have to be. Her voice is filled with pity and concern. And I am sorry for you. My thumb doesn't even have to press all that hard into her shoulder to make her scream. New wounds are funny like that. I don't let up even as Rafi tugs on my elbow. Enough, Cruz. This isn't the way. You'll make her bleed all over again. Get off her! Rafi is strong, but I'm a tank. Tell me how you know Santiago. I don't have to look outside to know a fog is moving through the area. That's what you get when you're tied to the weather. The man I set out to be was my father, who only influences the weather when something catastrophic happens to the village. Yet here I am, going off book because I can't see any other way to get the job done. And nature is tattling on me, matching the clouds to my mood, to tell the world that I'm confused and upset. Adelita jerks against the wall as pain shoots through her, but she's not fighting back. In fact, she's gritting her teeth in what looks like determination not to raise a hand to push me away. Not like it would do any good, but still. This woman has no idea how to defend herself. She looks like she's afraid to even try. Her wound is warm and seeps fresh blood through the stained silk of her pink shirt. She's choking on her breath, each inhale alerting her to more pain that would all go away if only she would talk. I add more pressure, twisting my thumb and tearing open the stitches. Santos will no doubt be annoyed I ripped open his handiwork. Her screams shoot straight through my stomach, shredding me without laying a finger to inflict the pain we both know I deserve. She's sweating, and I worry I'm hurting her worse than simple pain. Can her body handle distress like this? I don't know anything about her. Rafi finally rips me away from her, but it's not in time. Adelita's knees buckle, and for the second time, she passes clean out. Dread washes cold regret through me. Rafi's pissed, which is a strange color on him, to be sure. Enough! Not like this, Cruz. Never like this! We saved her for what? So you could torture her? A roof over her head only if she lets you maim her? Then something to his left catches his eye and he cries out, Santos, no! I shake him off, but he's already darting toward the side of the room. His words are a steady stream of profanity as he drops to his knees beside Santos, who's rocking himself maniacally on the threadbare carpet. I hate when Santos gets lost like this. He's hugging his midsection and rocking back and forth on his knees. His eyes are wide in a silent scream that can't find its way to his lips. Worse is the dagger sticking out of his thigh. Blood's been pooling on the carpet for who knows how many seconds, manifesting agony he cannot express any other way. "Do you see what you did?" Rafi yells at me, shoving me hard before he drops to his knees in front of Santos. Rafi grips the back of Santos's head, threading his fingers through his hair as he brings Santos forward to rest his forehead on Rafi's shoulder. "Shh," he whispers in a paternal voice to Santos. Though Santos can't speak, angst rolling around inside of him is loud. I did this. I made a woman faint. I made a woman bleed. I made Santos so crazy that he drove his own dagger into his thigh. I wonder how long ago it was that I lost myself. No, I am not the man I set out to become. "You did this," Rafi shouts. Most think he's a clown, always joking around without any real compass. Rafi doesn't get pushed to the edge all too often, but when he does, he's a force to be reckoned with. Santos won't correct you because you saved him from the Calcoo. He won't stop you from hurting the woman he just saved because he trusts that you always do the right thing. But this is wrong, Cruz. You're way off the map on this. So Adelita knows Santiago. What does that prove? If she was in league with the Calcoo, she wouldn't have been stupid enough to tell Santos she knew anything about Santiago. They would have attacked her. They wouldn't have attacked her. Use your head. I cast around for all my reasons that were so clear to me mere seconds ago. I can't think when Santos is bleeding. I can't see past the ruby puddle marking this as the spot where I lost my hold on the man I was supposed to be and turned into my father's brother. Tio Bruno would be proud, which is the biggest red flag of all. We've got a visitor. This is my cat Wednesday. You can't see very well. There she is. That's my cat Wednesday. She likes when I read to her too. Even when I make mistakes, and I appreciate you all being so patient with me while I make mistakes reading aloud. You can tell why I'm the writer and not the narrator for my audiobooks, because I am not a narrator. That takes a whole different set of skills that I don't always have at the ready. Hey, baby, we're going to read now. Rafi is on his knees, gripping the back of Santos's head, while his other hand drifts down to coil around the hilt of the dagger. Easy, brother, easy. You will not pay for Cruz's crimes tonight. On 3, this bad boy is coming out. 1. Rafi doesn't finish the count, but rips the blade from Santos's thigh, spilling more blood and fresh guilt onto the carpet. Santos shudders against Rafi, who pulls him in for a hug. I should be hugging him, both of them. They're my brothers now, and I'm treating them like... I feel a tug I wish wasn't there. Feelings are toxic, but it's what our family demands. Santos releases Rafi and grabs the ripped bedsheet, pulling it down and tearing off strips with trembling fingers. He winds the strip around his thigh while Rafi goes on a steady stream of asking how he can help, which is only broken up by peppered-in sentences where he puts me in my proper place. Santos ties off his leg and crawls to Adelita without looking up at me once. He doesn't appear angry, nor does he question me. He's a good soldier who wouldn't dare turn on his commander, which somehow makes this whole thing worse. Santos scoops Adelita up off the floor, but I'm not sure he has the fortitude to lift her just yet. Instead, he tucks his body into the corner and cradles her limp form across his lap. His expression is tender when he drinks in the sight of her sweaty face. Santos has never held a woman before, but somehow his arms know what to do. With the way he brushes a stray curl from Adelita's forehead, I know I've gone too far. So that is chapter 6 of Savage Hearts. Thank you for reading with me today. I have a goal this year of reading 50 books, So that's a book a week, sans like my birthday week if I get a little bit kerfuffled, or Christmas week if I get a little sidetracked. So I don't know what your book goals are, or even if you have any. You don't really need to have any if you don't want to. But if you would like to read a book this year, I will be doing a new chapter every Tuesday for you. So you can listen to this book and maybe get back into reading if you haven't been there for a hot minute. I'm like, oh my gosh, look at my cute little face. That was when I had blonde hair. Now I have pink hair. See, you get to see all the many rainbow phases of Tuesday. You're so lucky. Thanks for spending time with me. Have a good night.